If you can celebrate God for a 24-hour turnaround, I dare somebody. I double dare somebody. I triple stand somebody to praise God for your 24-hour turnaround. In this walk, God wants to take you in the unfamiliar. Because where the blessing is somewhere you ain't never been before. I wish I had some help. Where your upgrade is somewhere you've never been before. So God, take me in the unfamiliar. The church has become a circus. We got to do the extra. We got to make people sweat and make people spit, make people turn around, flip upside down. But according to the word of God, if you got the real power of God, all you got to do is say in the name of Jesus. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the House to House broadcast with Dr. Sherrod Cotton. I'm so blessed to be here with you today. What a mighty God we serve. The angels bow before him. The heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. For this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We enter to his gates with thanksgiving and to his courts with praise. We're thankful unto him and we bless his name. For the Lord is great and he's greatly to be praised. I'm so grateful always to come into your homes, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this broadcast. I'm always blessed to come to you and to present some of the great voices of this time and of this era. Let's go through some brief announcements real quick. I'm really excited about our guests. We're going to jump right into it. And again, I'm always glad to be with you. God bless each and every one of you. I'm blessed. I'm privileged again to be with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for allowing me the privilege to be into your homes or wherever you're watching this broadcast. All right, let's go through some house rules and some announcements, and we're going to jump into this thing real quick. First of all, I want to say Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone, to all of my brothers. Happy Father's Day. This is a joyous time where we get to celebrate our fathers, those of you that are fathers, those of you that might be uncles, whoever you may be. Happy Father's Day to all of you. Of course, I want to celebrate my father, His Eminence, the Bishop Jackie L. Cotton. I'm blessed to call this man my father. Been my father all my life, my spiritual father, my natural father. I don't know what it means to be without a father. He raised us, did the best job that he could, and I believe that best job was a great job. So I'm so honored to call this man my father. Dad, Pop, Bishop Jackie O. Cotton, happy Father's Day to you, sir, and of course, many more. Listen on Monday, which is our program, the We Belong Together broadcast with myself and my wife, Lady Chantel Cotton, every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is marriage. We talk couples. We talk relationships. We got a wonderful broadcast for you this Monday. It's going to be, Are You Done? Are You Done? So you don't want to miss this broadcast, the We Belong Together broadcast coming on this Monday. Please pick up this book called Affliction by Pastor Alfonso Flowers, a wonderful book that you definitely want to get. So please pick this book up. I believe it will bless your life. It's available on Amazon. This book is available again on Amazon. You want to pick this book up, as well as the book from Bishop E. Wilson, More Than Tongues. You can hit him up on his email address, which is Bishop Ed Wilson at livingwordministries.org, or simply go on livingwordministries.org and you can pick up this wonderful book. Again, on this broadcast, we do free advertising. So if you want your business advertised, please feel free to email me or inbox me on my Facebook, and we will broadcast your business. The Realty One Group, which is represented by Monique Gaddiston. She's a wonderful realtor out there in Henderson, Nevada. So this is her information. And again, if you need this information to be shown again, just replay the broadcast and you'll be able to get her information and she will be able to help you and bless you. Listen, my brother, D.L. Edwards has a wonderful opportunity for pastors and leaders, this Pastors and Leaders Conference, which is Small Church, Big Vision. They had it one years previously, and they got it going on again. The guest speaker is none other than Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant, the pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. You definitely don't want to miss this wonderful opportunity presented by my brother, Bishop D.L. Edwards. It's going to be on Facebook and on YouTube, so you don't want to miss this wonderful broadcast, the Small Church, Big Vision broadcast. My cousin down in Ocala, Florida, has a brand new single. Now, when you look up Bravis Cave and look up his music, you're not going to be disappointed. He will lead you into the presence of God with worship and praise. It is available. His new release is available right now, one more time, by Bravis Cave. Please download it on Google Music, available on iTunes and Google Play. Our House to House broadcast continues. This Wednesday, we have Pastor Greg Pinckney is going to be with us. On Sunday, next Sunday, is our Women's Empowerment Special with Dr. C. Cooper and Lady Nia Daniels. You don't want to miss that. On the following Wednesday, we had Bishop Will Thornton is going to be with us. And to conclude, coming up on Sunday after Independence Day, we have Bishop Ron Allen that's going to be with us. So you definitely don't want to miss these wonderful events. And I believe that it's going to bless your life. And, we're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling. There is a pivotal time in America right now where we have seen the police officers commit crimes, commit murders. And we've seen different protests. We've seen looting. We've seen rioting. There's a pivotal time in our country right now. And I'm blessed and I'm proud to be able to bring our guest here today. He is my big brother, and he is a part of one of the wonderful things that is not only going on in this country, but is going on in the state of New Jersey. And I'm proud to call him my brother. I'm glad that he's a representative, not only of the city of New Jersey, not only as being the representative of the Cotton family, but also being a representative of our culture, our creed, our race. And I'm glad to have him today. I'm going to bring him forth right now. It's none other than my big brother, Mr. Andre Cotton. What's up, big bro?
All right. How you doing?
Oh, let's see. We got some sound. There we go. We got your sound.
You got me?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you, sir.
All right. Let me say happy Father's Day to all the fathers, especially our father, Bishop Jackie L. Cotton. Thank you for raising us. Thank you for raising me, giving me the strength and the guidance throughout these many years. And I appreciate that, for helping me understand what it is to be a man and pass that on to my boys and my children. Thank you, Dad. Happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Wonderful. We're glad to have you, and we're going to dive right into it. For those of you that don't know you, why don't you just give a brief introduction of who you are, maybe share talk a little bit about your family, and welcome everybody to who you are in the House to House broadcast.
As you know, I'm your older brother. I am one of three other boys in the Cotton family of our father. Raised in Camden. Background first specifically in mental health. Did that for about 15 years. Then went over into law enforcement with our other brother, and did that for a number of years. And now I'm in the city of Camden working for Camden County Police Department.
And you are married, yes?
Yes, we are married. My lovely wife, Anna Payanzo Cotton. She works for a university here, Rowan Burlington County College. That's here in South Jersey.
Want to give a shout out to my sister, Anna. God bless you, dear. Thank you for sharing the post on Facebook. And you have how many children?
We have 5 altogether.
Fantastic.
5 between the 2 of us. 5 between the 2 of us.
Wonderful. And we just want to give a quick,
one girl.
We gave a quick shout out to Dad, but Dad is probably on the other chair, probably falling asleep, but Mom is watching. So every time Mom comes in, I always shout out to Mom. And
hey, Mom.
She says she's proud of you. And I see others that are joining the broadcast coming in. Good to see my good friend Derek Ross from Presidential Lakes. Bless you, bro. Happy Father's Day to you, my friend. Happy Father's Day to you and to all the fathers. We're going to dive right into this. I have to say from the jump that I'm very proud of you, what you are representing in the city of Camden. You are a Camden County police officer, and there's been a massive overhaul in the city of Camden as they've done their reform in their police department. As we have heard all across the country about defunding the police and everyone's talking about police reformation, can you just touch on what Camden has done as far as reforming and doing the massive overhaul in the city of Camden?
Okay, well, first let me say the thoughts and views that I have, in my opinion, are not necessarily of Camden County Police or the State Police of New Jersey. It's just my own opinion. Okay.
All right.
So now from the beginning, the massive overhaul happened maybe about 5 years ago. And there was some things that was happening within the department and within the political realm of Camden and Camden County. There was some things that needed to be restructured financially that needed to happen within the city of Camden's police department. So that's why the overhaul kind of happened.
All right. And what gave you the interest to be a part of that reformation or to be a part of that reforming?
Well, originally I was in law enforcement in Pennsylvania with our brother, and then there was some things that happened that drew me back into New Jersey, family, and just needed to be back home. So there was an opening there in Camden County Police Department, and there are a number of ways that one can get into a police department. One is taking a civil service exam, which opens you up into the whole state of New Jersey when there's openings in any of the police department. And then there's another way where a police department can hire someone strictly for their department, okay? And they're called special law enforcement officers. And that's how I got into Camden County. I was hired directly to Camden County Police Department as a special law enforcement officer. But they carry the same duties as a regular police officer.
Okay, can you touch on that a little more? Because as we see those that are talking about defund the police, and we're talking about reformation, there have those that have been talking about adding social services to the police department, having people that can go out when it comes down to non-violent crimes. What specifically is your role, or what are some of the roles when it comes to reforming the police in Camden County?
Well, the reforming of police came through a way of bringing people in to the police department in a number of different ways. And what the police department did was file for different type of grants to bring in different type of officers. Okay. And one of those ways was to bring in special law enforcement officers that didn't take the civil service exam so they can have a better way of actually finding the right kind of police officer for their community. One way that I believe that they brought me into the police department because I was from Camden. Lived there for a number of different years. I talked to internal affairs who actually who does the background check and does the interview. And I told them about family members that lived in Camden. I told them about the schools that I went to, from Francis X. McGraw to East Camden Middle to a short stint at Woodrow Wilson. I told him about the places where I lived at, from Vitamin Avenue to Westfield Acres, all the way to Washington Apartments. So that type of information, they looked at and say, you know what, this guy is a part of the community, and the community needs this type of person.
So give us an example of what type of call would you go out to see? I mean, if you got a call to go visit a certain scenario, what would be a scenario that you would actually go to address?
Well, there in my role with the police department, I work in two different areas. I work for the courts for Camden County, and I also work in central booking and the evidence department. So I don't go out on calls, but I do interact with the community through the court system when people come in and have to see the judge and go over their tickets or things like that for in a court situation, or when someone gets arrested from the street and they come in and we have to go over their charges with them, fingerprinting and booking and a situation like that. And lastly, I go through the evidence part. If there's evidence that needs to be checked in and put away, I do that part also. So I'm not on the street at all.
Okay. But can you give me an example of this reformed Camden Police Department that would be different from another police department that has not been defunded or have not been reformed? What would be an example of a Camden County police officer going to a nonviolent scenario or situation?
Well, one thing what Camden has done with their funding is they have put 3 to 4 times more officers out on the street. Okay, so there wouldn't be 1 or 2 people responding to a call. There'd be 3 to 4 officers responding to that call because of funding. And there, most of the time, there is a supervisor that also goes out to that call also. So there is a number of different eyes, professional eyes, at that situation.
I see. Want to give a shout out to my Uncle Richard that just came into the broadcast. Happy Father's Day, Uncle Richard. Good to see you, man. God bless you. Your nephews is on. So I want to continue to highlight and try to not so much rack your brain, but I want to put a scenario that how would the Camden County police officers go with what just happened to Mr. Rashard Brooks? What would be different if that situation happened in the Wendy's parking lot in Camden County?
Well, there'd be more officers responding to that, and also there would be a whole different way of the interaction with that individual. One thing that we learned in the academy, it is called verbal judo. Okay, verbal judo is a way that an officer and an individual correspond or talk with each other in a conversation. One thing we've learned is that when an individual is at an escalated level, we don't take our level up to that point. We bring our level down and bring it down even lower so that person can hear us talking and they will bring their level down also. So we don't go scream for scream. Okay, when it comes to talking, we go with bring our level down so that person can hear us talking. And what psychology says is that person will lower his level down to hear you, and that will bring their level down also. So that verbal judo is a way of de-escalating the situation. Also, we wouldn't be as confrontational as those officers were. You know, we would be a little bit standoffish. We wouldn't go face to face with that individual. We would take a side approach, one, keeping ourselves at a professional distance to make sure that we wouldn't come in harm's way, but to make that person more relaxed and understanding that we're there for his safety and our safety and the safety of the community.
Okay. Good. Now I know sometimes it's difficult to try to examine things in real time, or we've seen the repetitive videos, we've seen it over and over again, and again, some of the people that have commentated and tried to analyze that video, it's kind of hard to do it in real time. So we see the video of Mr. Rashard Brooks up to 43 minutes that the officers are talking calmly to him. They're explaining the situation. They do the breathalyzer test until we get to the 44th minute. We see as the officers get ready to do the handcuffing, that's when the fight begins to start. Is there a different approach or technique in what you have learned from what they did, or is that pretty much the standard way?
Every case, every situation is situational, and we don't know what happened in between that time to warrant those officers to put handcuffs on him. Okay, so I can't say without more information what warrant them to put handcuffs on him. All I know is what happened after of what I seen when they put handcuffs on him, and then the resistance started.
So again, as we deal with real time and we analyze from the time that he now escapes from the officer's grasp, he has the taser in his hand and he's running. And of course, they've talked about the taser had already been discharged. It needs to get another charge, or after it's gone from its second charge. Can you kind of talk on the taser aspect of what happened in that video?
Well, when a taser is discharged, prongs come out, it goes into the skin, it lets off an electrical charge to stun a person, and really, depending on the person, it can be disabling. And who's to say what happens after a person is disabled, especially a person with a firearm? If he discharged that taser towards the officer, what would be his next step? Would he go after the officer's firearm and shoot the officer and his partner? Will he run away? It's something that we don't know. It's just right. Like saying, like, if Alshon Jeffrey caught that pass at the Eagles game when they played against the Saints, would the Eagles still have won that game?
Right.
We just don't know.
Just don't know. Yeah. So let's take we'll do a kind of a if kind of scenario. Here you are in that same situation, and as we get to the 46th minute, he's now running, and he now turns around and attempts to. We don't know if he thought that there was another charge in that taser, and the officer decides to reach for his gun, and he shoots Mr. Rashard Brooks in the back twice. Can I just ask you what your basic feeling is, or looking from the outside in, what is your basic feeling when you see the 46th minute up until the time Mr. Rashard Brooks is shot?
Everyone's reaction is a little different. I don't know if I would have reached for my firearm to shoot him. I would definitely, it would be a thought of mine to reach for. I mean, you have to meet force with force. And that force, a taser can be deadly, because now you're disabled with numerous other type of lethal weapons on you, from your OC spray to he has a taser. You can be, just because the prongs have been discharged, you can take the prongs, and that it's a cartridge on that taser. You could take that cartridge off of that taser, and you can still tase someone with that weapon. You could, it's called dry tasing, and you could still tase that person, and that shock will still happen if a person knows that. So you're disabled and someone's over top of you. Yeah, I don't know if I would have shot the man. I don't know if I would have drawn my weapon. I might have drawn my weapon. I don't think I would have discharged it though.
this is, again, Mom just posted, said this is too deep, and it is deep, and it's one of the reasons why I have you on this broadcast. Not that I know your full temperament or what you would do in a real case scenario, but again, I asked you up until the 44 minutes of what you would have done differently. Is there anything besides discharging the weapon? I was watching Roland Martin, that he says that they had his vehicle, so he couldn't have took off in his vehicle. They had his driver's license, so if they would have tried to chase him further, they could have actually picked him up at his home. What are some of the other things that the officers could have done to, and I'm just asking you to give some kind of scenarios or some what ifs. What are some other things they could have done besides discharging the weapon and the things that they did past the 46 minute?
Okay, from the training that I received through the state of Pennsylvania and this training at the Pennsylvania State Academy for Law Enforcement with the Camden County Academy, it's force with force. And we were drilled that in our head. It's force with force, no matter what. If a punch is thrown, you throw a punch. If someone has a knife, that's deadly, then you pull your weapon. Okay, so force with force. The man is running. The taser wouldn't have hit me. I would have continued to keep chasing him. Okay, but I would not have shot him. I probably would have drawn my baton, okay, and threw my baton at him to bring him down. You know, those are some of the things. If he would have got away from me, he would have got away from me. I would have maintained a foot patrol right on top of him to keep my eye on him and keep calling for backup until backup came. I wouldn't have discharged my weapon like that because that force was not deadly.
Our president, and I don't like to talk about him too much, but however, our president.
I really don't want to talk about him,
but I'm only going to bring him up because Congress has just said that they want to ban chokeholds. And I want you to talk a little bit about that, about your training when it comes to chokeholds. You talk about meeting force with force. Have you done any training when it comes to chokeholds, or is there a different application when it comes to chokeholds?
We wasn't necessarily taught chokeholds. We were taught about takedowns and how to hold someone down, how to hold someone down with another officer, how to hold someone down with other officers, how to put on handcuffs and things like that. I was never taught a chokehold. I was never taught a chokehold. They taught us when it comes to a fight with any individual, a fight is never fair. So you fight to go home. You fight to win. Okay? And if a chokehold is necessary, then a chokehold is necessary to win.
There it is. There it is. My big brother, Andre Cotton, a police officer in the Camden County Police, they have recently done a disbanding and a disforming of their police department. I want to move real quick, and I'm not going to keep you long because I know you had a long day. When you look at the George Floyd situation, and I'm going to try to ask you to put yourself at that scene as a police officer, whether it was the standing officer that's watching the crowd and the other three, or being the one that what is there a knee on the neck procedure?
No, you can stop that right now. No, there's nothing that warrants that. Not when a man is already cuffed and you have him down and two officers already has his legs. There is no training, no one teaches you that at all. The man is already subdued. The man should have been brought up off his feet and put in the back of the car and taken into booking.
So in your training, because as we see some different angles, you do have a body cam, or those that
Officers do have body cams, yes.
Okay, so as we look at the different angles of the body cam, we see that they do wind up cuffing him as they bring him out of the store. And what would necessitate an actual takedown as they took Mr. Floyd down? What would actually necessitate in your training taking a person down what is that training?
If you're walking an individual to your car, or you're walking an individual into the building and he becomes combative, that warrants a takedown.
So with them taking down Mr. Floyd, there was no reason for him to be taken down at all.
I saw no reason for them to take him down.
And then
he was walking from the different camera views that I saw, from the different angles. There was no reason. They were walking him already. They could have just put him in the car. And the two officers that originally had him were walking him already. They should have just put him in the car. This situation here was a lynching. This was a lynching that haphazardly got caught on video. That's what this was. This is about an officer seizing his opportunity to kill a black man. And it just so happened that someone had a video camera, a camera phone, and it was recording. This has been something that has happened in this country for over 400 years. The mistreatment of black people, the mistreatment of Hispanic people, the mistreatment of Asian people. This country is built on a lot of hate. History books tell us that. And the reason why is so much protest, the reason why is so much uproar, because now it's literally in everybody's face.
Yeah.
It's in your face now. But this has been happening a long time. From Emmett Till all the way till now, this has been happening.
So let me ask you: is it difficult to separate, or how do you wear both hats as being a police officer and being a black man? What is that like?
Well, because of my village, where I was raised at, people that had the influence on me, from our father to our Uncle Wilbur Cotton, to our Aunt Gloria Thomas, to Francis X. McGraw School, to Mount Carmel Holiness Church, all those people, all those different experiences has taught me that no matter what hat I wear, I'm always comfortable in my skin.
So I've seen, and I asked you that question because I've seen in some states where there have actually been police officers that have decided to quit, that have decided to resign because they feel like the police officers are getting a bad rap, or because that their conviction, or because of charges that have been made to them, they feel like that they are unjust. So you'll hear the statement that I'm all blue, which refers to I'm a police officer sometimes first. So I want to get your feeling as we get ready to end. What is that? What is that? Is that a bad attitude to have? Should these officers keep their commitment to say that I've come to make sure that there is justice and equality? What is your view on that?
My view on it is this: the culture of that police department, or any police department, will show people what that police department is made of. That police department goes back into where it actually comes from, to the appointment of the chief, the appointment of the freeholders, the appointment of the mayors, the appointment of your senators, the appointment of all the political realms that have anything to do with being appointed for that particular community. So whatever is the philosophy of that political realm that people have voted that into, that's what's going to happen. That's why you have to register to vote. And don't only vote for the people that you see on TV, vote for those other people, such as freeholders, such as surrogates, such as other small councilmen. Make sure you know what their views are, because that is part of the whole system. It's the smaller part, but it's the bigger part of the bigger picture.
Are there any, as we close, this is going to be my last question to you. Are there any important bills that we should be looking at? Because, you know, we have the authority to vote for senators and governors and mayors. Are there any important bills that you know of that we should also be paying attention to?
I think all bills are important. Anything that comes across the table should be, make sure you should understand what that bill is and who it's going to affect, not just you particularly, but the people in your community, whether it's your senior citizens or your younger children and their education, or funding about food stamps, or it could be putting in new buildings and anything like that. Just know what the bill is, and if you understand the bill, make sure someone else understands it, so that message can get across to everyone.
And you believe that everyone, especially every black man and every black person, every black woman should be registered to vote?
Exactly.
So even if they don't vote for the president, there's other things that they can vote for.
Yes, and they should vote for the president.
So how do we, for those that are unlearned, that are not really in politics, and Mom saying that you're doing a great job. But of course, Mom, you raised us the right way. We're cotton boys, what you expect. But which one of these candidates? I mean, we already have Mr. Trump already in office. Which one of these candidates are really going to address the issues that we deal with in our community, in our society, in our race? Which one of these candidates do you feel, your own personal view, is really going to address, or really should be the next leader of our nation that's going to help us resolve some of these issues?
Anyone except Donald Trump. I'm going to say Joe Biden, because he is the person right now. But we know what Donald Trump is, and we know the people that support him. Okay, so we know what Donald Trump is. Joe Biden, okay, he's kind of not a direct reflection, but he's a reflection of what we had for 8 years, and the most prolific president that we ever had in Barack Obama. So you can know that some of Obama's views, Joe Biden knows those views, and we hope that he continues what Barack has started. We hope that he continues that.
And then, just in your view and just in your opinion, who do you think would be an acceptable running mate with Joe Biden?
I would like to see Miss Harris out there from California. I would like to see her.
Right.
I think that would be good.
Wonderful. As we close, last scenario, bro, and I promise you this is the last one.
You said that before.
I did say that before, and I just feel the question's coming, but this is my last one, I promise.
You can keep asking me. It's fine.
My wife over there said he ain't gonna stay on there long, Chief.
It just reminds me of when we were little before. You know, he just kept asking questions.
Nice.
So I'm good. I'm kind of used to it. So
we saw one scenario about the police, and I don't want to talk about the murderings or what they've done, but Mr. Trump decided to clear out the square to go take a picture in front of a Catholic parish. And we've seen police officers do some things to clear out that square to make sure he could get to that place. What is the riot training that you guys receive, or when it comes to a situation like that? We've seen riots, protests, looters. What kind of training do you receive when it comes to rioting and looting and that type?
I wouldn't know that because I've never been in that kind of, I don't know about in New Jersey what they do. I know from different times where I was in Pennsylvania and we had to clear areas. We did it as a group, and we never had to, we didn't wear riot gear or anything like that. It was more just like talking to the community, letting them know like this area is not safe anymore, things like that. We never had to clear an area like that. I've never been in a situation like that.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am definitely proud to call this man my older brother. I would tell some stories, but that's really none of your business. Some of those things we're going to take to the grave. But again, I'm proud to call this man my older brother. I'm proud that he is a African American, not only representing our culture, our race, but also representing the reformatted police in Camden County. Bruh, I love you so much. God bless you. Thank God for you, man. And keep doing the great work and representing the family. I appreciate you, man.
All right. Love you too, man.
Be blessed.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Cotton was with us. I'm so glad to have all of you that was with us tonight. And I'm glad to have my brother that was with us tonight. Thank you for all of you that came on. It was a quick broadcast. And I'm just going to go through our announcements again, and so that we can get this show popping and you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. So again, the announcements are as follows. As soon as I can bring my announcements up. Again, this is a new system that I'm using, so bear with me if you please. All right, let's get these announcements out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the House to House broadcast always continues with Bishop Ron Allen, who's going to be my special guest on July the 5th. On July the 1st, we have Bishop Will Thornton that's going to be with us. Next Sunday is going to be our Women's Empowerment with Dr. Cooper and Lady Nia Daniels. Women, you don't want to miss this. We had a wonderful Women's Empowerment. Anytime I have a Women's Empowerment on the broadcast, it's always a wonderful, wonderful broadcast. So you don't want to miss it. This coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, at 6 p.m. Pacific, listen, Pastor Greg Pinkney. This is a well-versed, hermeneutical, apologetical man of God. He has a theological brain that you definitely want to hear. So please join me next Wednesday to hear Pastor Greg Pinkney. Again, my cousin's album, his new single, One More Time, which is available on Google Play and Google Music and iTunes. This man will usher you into the presence of the Lord. His brand new single, One More Time, I guarantee you, once you get this one, you're going to want to get the next one. He has a lot of music that's available, and you definitely want to get it. My brother, D.L. Edwards, is coming with Small Church Big Vision. That's going to be on YouTube and on Facebook Live. You definitely want to get in touch with this broadcast. His special guest is none other than Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant, who is the pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Please tune in on July 18th and the 19th to see my big brother to talk about Small Church Big Vision. Those of you that are in the Nevada area, please look up Monique Gaddison for all of your realty needs, residential and land sales. And if you are looking to come to the Nevada area, she can definitely help you obtain land, find houses. This is the person that you want to be in touch with. Please get this book, More Than Tongues by Bishop Ed Wilson. Go on churchofyourdestiny.org, or you can email him at bishopedwilson@livingwordministries.org. Here's another book that you definitely want to get, Affliction, that is available on Amazon. It's a wonderful read. It reads like poetry, like Psalms and Proverbs. And of course, this Monday, the We Belong Together broadcast with myself and Lady Chantel Cotton. Our subject this Monday is going to be, are you done? You ready to throw in the towel? Are you ready to separate from your significant other? Are you ready to make divorce plans? We're going to talk about it, and you definitely don't want to miss it. The We Belong Together broadcast with myself and Lady Chantel Cotton. You don't want to miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, God bless you. Thank you so much for allowing me into your homes. Thank you so much for allowing me into your places of business. Thank you so much for allowing me into wherever you are. I want to say God bless you. Thank God for you. It's always a blessing to allow me to be a part of your life and a part of your day. What a mighty God we serve. The angels bow before him, and the heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty, mighty God we serve. I love you all with the love of Jesus. Continue to support this ministry and support this broadcast. If you would be so kind, those of you that can sow into this ministry, I want you to do that. Your sowing and your contribution goes to the continuing of this broadcast. So as you can see my Cash App information. Continue to be a blessing to this broadcast, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Listen, once again, God bless you. I love you all with the love of Jesus. Be blessed, my friends. Have a great day. To all my friends, happy Father's Day. We will see you real soon in the name of the Lord. God bless you.